with LT, man. That's
Right.
I I I, I loved LT as growing up. I loved his style of play. Like he's obviously like an all timer. Like you could make a case that he's the greatest running back ever. So if you have the option and the ability to take that, you have to take that.
You could,
You have to.
and I think
Arthur
it's
Smith is not passing that.
I think it's coincidental because I don't know if you guys have noticed as well, but a lot of coaches, a lot of scouts, a lot of even current NFL players have come out and said that Bijan is the best player in the draft, regardless of position. And there's a consensus that he's a top 5 talent in the draft, regardless of position. How do you say no?
Well, they're saying no, because most of them want one of two people in the draft.
Mhm,
One, Jalen Carter.
mhm.
Player two, Nolan Smith. That is why they want to say no.
I've seen a lot
But
of I've seen a lot of people asking for the Gonzalez kid cornerback.
So here's my thing on that too. And I'm not sitting here and saying that Bijan should be the pick at 8. I think right now, if their draft board is set up a certain way, I would say that Carter, Tyree Wilson, and maybe Gonzalez are listed above Bijan in terms of that. But I also feel that when the draft rolls around and it plays out a certain way, that I don't think Tyree will be there. I don't think Jalen will be there. I'm pretty positive that Will Anderson won't be there. So you're sitting at a situation where if you're going BPA and those 3 guys are off the list, you got a hard time convincing me that Bijan, who's already considered a top 5 talent, is not considered the best player on the board at that point. Like,
I mean, Bijan comes into the NFL as probably a top 5 running back day one, if he is who they say he is.
yeah,
I mean, how many
I
running
just
backs? Right.
I don't get it. I will if Jalen Carter so happens to fall to 8, I can see a situation where the Falcons are like, okay, you know what, we're going to take Jalen, and in that
Who
manner, I completely understand. Even if Tyree falls at 8, I will understand if they go that route and take a guy like Tyree Wilson. But to sit
who?
here and just look at what's up,
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
but to sit here and just look at a situation where Bijan is available and you're looking at the board and it plays out a certain way and you still don't think you still think Nolan Smith is the better option compared to having Bijan. I can't look at you in in a certain eye, man. Like I gotta frown at you when I look at you that way. The fact that you want to sit here and say Nolan Smith can definitely be he can definitely be he can be developed into a really good edge rusher at the next level. However, you're talking about taking a guy at 8 that has 12 career sacks in 4 years at the University of Georgia. 12 in 4 years. I don't know if I want to take that at 8. If we're talking 18, maybe. But at 8, if I'm taking a guy at 8, I need to know who he is as a prospect, especially at edge rusher. I don't know who Nolan Smith can be at the next level. He's already undersized and he already underperformed at the collegiate level. Would we
Was
be
he was he the one that had a bad pro day? Was that him?
no, he had a great pro day.
Which one?
Jalen had a bad pro day.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I would stay away from because I'm like when it comes to like the combine and pro days, I'm kind of like everybody knows what we're doing. We all know the drills. Everybody trains for these drills, so for the most part, everybody should do fine. The combines and the pro days really don't matter until you have a bad one. You cannot have a bad pro day because it's literally an open book test. Like you tell them, like, hey, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Let's practice for this. And for him to kind of show up to his pro day out of shape, unable to perform, that's a major red flag. Like it'd have been better if he just came out there and just did average. But to be bad at a pro day, I hate to say it because he's a kid. He's going into the league. I don't want to talk down on him, but it's like, dog, that's your one time to be like, let me show off the best things that I can do, the best things that I'm good at. Let me do that here and prepare for it. And he wasn't, and that's bad.
I think when it comes to Jalen, the timing of his pro day with everything that went down in January with that particular that accident, I think he's kind of sort of forgiven a little bit because of his pro day performance, because you're talking about a situation where January came, the accident happened, literally day one of the combine. He wasn't even supposed to do on-field drills, but literally day one of the combine, news breaks that there's a warrant out for your arrest. So you have to leave the combine to go all the way down to Athens, Georgia to turn yourself in, clarify that situation. You clear it up, you fly back to Indy to do your drills. In the middle of the combine is done. I think your pro day is probably like 2 weeks later. And he has a terrible combine when he has a terrible pro day where he shows up 10 pounds overweight. I think he's forgiven a little bit.
Is he allowed to skip that though? Because like I know like CJ Stroud, like he didn't, obviously CJ Stroud went out there and threw, but he didn't like run. So like could he have like done just a few things and not everything? Or because like this guy apparently like is like, I don't watch a ton of college football, but I know that this guy is a great player. Could he just do the interviews there and just be like, hey man, look at the film?
Well, he didn't do any on-field drills at the con. He just did interviews, and he was going to save the drills for the pro day. But then the pro day came, and he came in 10 pounds overweight, and he didn't do great there. So
there was no option of just being like, I'm not going to work out pro day, or that would have looked bad too.
To sit here and not work out at all in the
like which is worse, to have a bad pro day or to just not do anything at your pro day?
To not do anything at all. I think
that's worse. Wow. Yes. Okay.
That's worse. Because you're talking about not participating at the combine and not participating at a pro day that's pretty much scripted for you. Like you're not doing any off-season drills, none. And so the reason why you will want to do the off-season drills in his particular situation, or at least give it a try, is because you want to take some of the spotlight off of you being involved in a fatal accident involving teammates. But you give it a try, you give it a go, and it doesn't work out, and you show up 10 pounds overweight. So it's kind of sort of like, all right, you know what? He tried, he went out there, he was a little overweight, the timing of this thing didn't work out. That's where I think at that point, the precedence of the meetings, the pre-draft meetings, take even much more value at that point, because now you got to sit down in front of teams and you got to explain, this is why my offseason played out this way. So I think Jalen Carter has had a very interesting offseason. He's had some good and some bad go in his favor, mainly bad. But I think at this point, he's kind of sort of given a mulligan here a little bit when it comes to what we saw at his pro day.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. I can understand that. Yeah, he did have a lot of stuff going on, but yeah, I guess we just rarely see like bad pro day performances. Like I can't think of another person that had we've seen bad combines before. I think Peyton Manning they said had a bad. It might have been Peyton Manning. I think they said like Peyton Manning had a bad pro day, but I mean, he wasn't like.
I know Ryan Leaf had a terrible pro day. Ryan Leaf because Ryan Leaf was telling him in the interviews that once he gets drafted, he's going to go to Vegas and party and gamble and stuff like that. He did that at the combine during the interviews, and I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?" He showed up to the combine drunk anyway.
Oh my god!
He had a hangover. He got drunk and he showed up to the combine, the pre-draft interviews. And he had a hangover.
Oh my goodness!
And they still took him number 2.
Yeah, they did. They still took him to 2.
If I'd have known that, I'd be pissed. I would. If I was a fan of that team, like he did this, and you still took him number. That's crazy. Nah, man. Everybody got to get fired after that.
And he looked you in your eye at the combine and said, "If you draft me 2nd overall, I'm going to Vegas that night, and I'm gonna party it up."
Wow.
he looked at you with his bloodshot eyes and slurred that like, you take me number 2. That's what I'm doing, buddy. Oh my God,
that's our guy. That's our guy right there. He's going to.
We need him. He's leader of men right there.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we'll see what Jalen. I do think Jalen. At the end of the day, I do think Jalen Carter is a top 10 pick. I don't see him making it past the Lions at 6. I think the Lions have been a team that's recently, went in pre-draft meetings, they've said that, those meetings have kind of sort of cleared up his situation a little bit, and they have a different perspective of him now before the meetings, which I think was critical for him and for his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, as well. So we'll see. If he falls to 8, it'll be a surprise to me. I'll be honest. It'll be a surprise.
Because we're going Bajan high, baby.
Can I get it? Well, I don't know if we're wrapping up or anything, but can I get a prediction? Where is Lamar playing next year? No explanation. Just where is he playing?
Oh, damn. Man, that situation is so funky, man. I don't know if I legitimate. It's so weird. Like, I'll say this: before the whole OBJ thing, I thought it was a real possibility that he could have sat the year out.
Whoa.
Because he's 26, coming off of a season-ending injury. I think if he would have sat, now he would have missed out on a little bit of money, but if he would have sat, got even healthier, had a complete year to train, man, teams would have been lining up at his door next offseason. Like, teams would have been kicking the door in, waiting for him. I don't know if he wants to play on that tag, because the thing is, when it comes to playing on that tag, there's no security with that, especially when you've had 2 consecutive season-ending injuries. You get a third on that tag, you're not getting anything long-term, buddy. You can forget about it. That's the risk you're taking. I don't know. I really don't know where he plays. I don't, Marcus.
This is not how that works. This is not how that works. Pick a team. Pick a team.
I don't think he plays in Baltimore. I'll leave it at that.
I like that. I like it.
He's playing it safe.
I don't think he plays in Baltimore, because if he plays in Baltimore, it would be one of 2 things. Either they give him a long-term deal and it's not what he's been wanting, and he's already publicly come out and said that they've shortchanged the hell out of him anyway, and we already pretty much know that at this point, or he's playing on that $32 million non-exclusive tag, which is, to me, at this point, you've already been trying. I feel like at that point, you've been trying to do this thing for 2 years now. You've been trying to negotiate a long-term deal for 2 years. And then you come back and you say, okay, you know what? I'm going to play on the tag again. You're going to go through another year of this, another offseason of these negotiations? Like, that's...
And you're playing on the smaller tag too, because he's on the non-exclusive one. They could get an exclusive tag, and that's like, was it like 40 something?
It was 40. I want to say it was like 47.
Yeah, he's playing for less.
You're playing for less on a smaller tag, and again, you go out there and you blow a tire. Nobody's talking to you. No one. And I don't know if that's a risk you want to take. If I'm his agent, I'm looking at him and I'm saying, look, I know you want to play. I know you want to hit the field, but man, you've been knocked out for the season for 2 years in a row. Okay. You suffer a third season-ending injury. No one's going to talk to you. Not the Ravens. Hell, a team from the XFL may not even talk to you. I don't know. Like, it's just, no one's going to want to talk to you.
Not for that money.
Not for that money. Like, you're risking, you're playing on $32 million and you have an opportunity to blow $200 million if you get injured again.
Hey man,
do you want to?
He need to call Jalen Hurts' agent. Call that sister up. Tell her to hook him up. for something,
Do
man.
you,
Hey,
do you want him
can you give me
Indy?
that
I
same
know
deal? Y'all got any more
he's
of the
been
deals, man?
he's been tied to Indy for a little bit. Would you be?
I tell you this. I said this. If CJ Stroud is not there, if Anthony Richardson is not there, if Bryce Young is not there, take the best player available and trade for Lamar Jackson because I'm out on Will Levis. I don't know why I can't do it. I can't do Will Levis. So if he's the
And that's
only
the-
option for quarterback, then I'd rather the Colts just take either trade down or do whatever. But yeah, shift gears,
And that's
get Lamar Jackson.
And that's the one quarterback that's been tied to the Colts the most, Will Levis. That's the one quarterback that they've sort of supposedly.
No, stop. No.
Sorry, they've got googly eyes for Will Levis.
No.
I know that's not what you want, but
No.
They got
sorry,
he's old too. He's got
is.
attitude problem. He's jacked Baker Mayfield, man. I don't.
Yeah, he puts mayonnaise in his coffee. Did you know that?
Please stop saying that. They keep telling me that. He eats bananas with peel on it. Still.
Yeah. You
Like,
want that guy?
This guy is unhinged.
You want that guy leading your
not
locker
in the
room?
NFL.
You want that guy leading your locker room? I don't know if I want that.
Got to drive a bus full of kids to a school. No, I don't want that guy near anything. Get him away.
I don't know if I feel good going into a film session and my quarterback is sitting there with mayonnaise in his coffee, talking about, yeah, this is what we need to do. I'm like, you gonna fix that coffee first, right? Like, you putting Miracle Whip.
This is my favorite play.
Yeah, you putting Miracle Whip in Folgers, bro. What are we doing?
Oh, disgusting.
I'm looking at Coach like, Coach, what?
I swear.
He's leading our
huddle. Y'all brought him? Y'all brought him.
This is our leader?
This is our leader?
Like, the fuck?
Like, what are mayonnaise packets? Like, come on, Coach. Like, what are we doing?
No. I tell you this, and I'm gonna regret this. I'm going to regret this, but I'm gonna say it anyway because #content. Damn it. If the Colts draft Will Levis at number 4, I don't know if I'm gonna do it on this podcast or on a different one, but I will drink a cup of coffee with mayonnaise in it.
Don't do it on this one. Do it on KTSE. Don't do it on this one. I don't feel like puking. Like, oh my god.
Does he stir? He stirs it up, right? It's stirred up, or is it just like chunky?
Yes. Yeah, he stirs it up. Yeah. We got to take you up on this. This is live. This is live. You put this out there in the open now. Like, you got to do it now.
Oh god. I don't see how that's a turtle.
Man, you know what? I want them to trade up for Levis too. Not only pick Levis, but say, you know what? We gonna give up some picks just to get this guy. Oh man, I want that. Man, your stomach gonna be mad at you.
The toilet gonna be mad at you too.
The toilet too. The toilet gonna be like, look here, bro.
I can't take anymore. Can't take any more of this. We already went down Meat Mountain. We can't do this again, man.
Unbelievable. And then,
I don't regret this.
It don't even matter what type of mayonnaise. It can be great value mayonnaise. It don't matter, man. You gotta do it, bro.
You gotta do it now.
Yep, you gotta do
Look
it.
what you did.
I don't know. What does that do for you? Does it? Like, I thought the coffee alone has enough caffeine to give you that whatever push. What does the mayonnaise do?
Eric, look, we aren't the right color of people on this show that you need to be asking a question to.
What is
we don't know. we
got a creamer substitute. Like, what is?
I got it. Dear white people that listen to this, could you answer this question for us? Because we need to know. We don't do that over here. So we need the white delegation to come and put in the comments what mayonnaise does.
What does that do? I don't get. And does it turn like? Is there still like a thickness to it? Does it turn into like a shake almost, depending on how much mayonnaise?
Curdle. I don't see how it doesn't curdle.
It has to, right? Like
how much are
you putting in it? Or does it matter as far as how big of the coffee you have? Like, is it
like
does that
you
require
probably
more mayonnaise? Like,
what's that shit they say? A dollop. You gotta probably get a dollop of it and just plop it in there, and then it plops, and then the hot coffee just.
I don't get it. Like, do you use a stirrer to actually stir it, or do you need a spoon because it's a little thicker now? Like, how do you?
Maybe they did that milk frother where it goes and it froths.
Does it leave a froth?
I don't know. You don't ask me. Look, I am not the right shade to be.
Marcus, you tell us. Does it leave a froth? You should get used to.
I don't.
You know what that? You know what? You know what? That should be a drink that should be served on Sundays as Levis is leading the Colts down the field. Like that should be that. You guys should be serving at Lucas Oil Stadium. You guys should be serving coffee with mayonnaise in it. Absolutely. Just forget bobblehead day. Forget that. We're serving coffee with mayo.
Well, okay, Bubba. Bubba is white as hell, and just the thought of it makes Bubba sick. Well, you need to ask somebody else. We need to know.
Marcus is trying to. The fact that this guy is in charge of winning games for the Colts, knowing that he's going out on the field before games and drinking coffee
with a coffee mayo butthole, just going out there. Probably like a nasty shit before the game. Coffee mayo just came out of there.
I promise you, if I hear Will Levis, I'm cutting the draft off. I will not. I will not. I cannot do this. Don't I have to end the podcast and take it back? Can I take it back?
It's too late now. No, we got witnesses. Witnesses.
No one heard that. This isn't going out anywhere.
You gotta do it now, man.
Do it. And then none but to do it. But he's gonna do that. Probably not on this.
Does he add sugar to give it some sweetness, or is this?
I'm going to Starbucks. No, I'm gonna.
You're putting sugar in this as well.
I gotta put something. Do we just get a black coffee with mayonnaise in it with nothing else?
You gonna put sugar in it? Like, what's that gonna do? Like,
no. Like,
what type of concoction you trying to put together, man? You might
don't do that. Just do the coffee and mayonnaise.
I didn't mean to say it. It was an accident. I was just joking, guys.
It's too late.
I was joking, guys. Anything said on YouTube, anything I've said on YouTube ever.
It's too late.
I definitely want Jim Irsay to be running that card up there for Will Levis, just so I can see this. Yeah, you drinking that, bro?
You drinking that shit?
You get it to yourself.
This cannot. Where's the draft at? I'm going to Kansas City. This cannot happen.
Thursday night.
Can't wait. Matter of fact, I want you to. You gotta get Walmart mayonnaise because even that mayonnaise, it got a different taste to it. It don't taste like actual mayonnaise. It got a little twang to it. So you got to get that one too. You got to get that Great Value mayonnaise, bro. The one that look yellow instead of actually white.
Lord have mercy. Oh my God.
Disgusting.
I've got to stop doing this. I can't keep doing this. You have
to stop doing it to yourself. But this is what you get. This is what you get. Okay.
I'm never coming on this podcast.
Even the white folks listening are disgusted with what's happening right now. Just FYI. Thank you, white people, for tuning into this show. We appreciate you. But to wrap it up quickly before my fucking computer dies, he's gonna do that. All right, so real quick thought. For free agency this year, we focus heavy on defense. Do you think this draft is going to be a mix of offense and defense, or you think we're going to keep focusing heavy on the defense and maybe picking up one or two linemen, offensive linemen?
I think it's going to be a little bit of both. I think this team kind of sort of put themselves in a position where it definitely changed the draft strategy going into it. It's not necessarily a situation where they have to focus on one particular position. I think they're looking at certain players and their fit with the team. I think you're going to see a little bit of both. They're probably going to address interior offensive linemen, edge as well. Would not be surprised if they take a big nickel safety. Ryan Nielsen, coming from the Saints organization, they ran a lot of 3 safety looks. If you recall, there were some times where Malcolm Jenkins was that 3rd safety. Malcolm Jenkins saw time at slot corner, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go and exercise that particular position as well. So I think it's going to be a little bit of both. I think they put themselves in a pretty flexible position in the draft because of free agency.
Bet. That's perfect. I want Bijan. So that's where I'm at with it. I won't be mad at a cornerback. What's that dude? Gonzalez or ain't they someone from Iowa? Or am I tripping?
From who?
Or Illinois. From Iowa or Illinois?
Illinois. Devon Wilson.
Yes. Him. I ain't tripping. We go edge. I ain't tripping either. But I really want Bijan. So if Bijan can graciously fall to 8 and we get him, I'll greatly appreciate it, Terry. And I'll stop talking about how you a bald black man with cowboy boots and Wranglers that can't be trusted no more. If you get Bijan at 8, so I appreciate it.
Damn, you been talking about it like that?
Hell yeah.
Terry been working. Yeah, come some slack.
This free agency, but it took him too long to get like this for me.
He had no money.
I like instant results. Like I like Eggos, like in the toaster. Look at my Eggo, instant results. You know what I'm saying? Waffle House, 15 minutes. Chick-fil-A, less than 5 minutes. I like instant results. You know what I'm saying?
The team was broke for 2 years, Lethal. What do you want him to do?
Well, shit, use some of his GM money. Like, do something.
You want him to pull money out of his pocket to get?
Hell yeah, fuck him and his kids. Give me my shit. I want a ring, god damn it. I want a ring while I still got a sort of sound mind. I still got all my working limbs and stuff, and I could go streaking down Peachtree Road when we win the Super Bowl. Okay? Damn. Is that too much to ask? I'm getting up there. We getting older. These last couple years with Covisha and shit, like that bitch just made time go by faster. And now I'm 30. I'm about to be 31. I would like to win a Super Bowl before I turn 60. I'm just saying. All right, stop looking at me like that. With that being said, we got to some shit, and I gotta come through these screens and mollywop them.
You probably would with them big knuckles of yours that you've been
Shut up. That's it. We out this bitch. Any shout outs or last words before I make both y'all eat mayonnaise and coffee?
No, that's gonna be Marcus. Marcus is. You shouldn't have did that to yourself, man.
I don't know why he did that shit.
But you got to do it now. You got to finish the cup.
If you guys,
we ain't talking about a couple sips, right?
We're talking about the whole thing.
You got to finish the whole cup, bro.
The whole cup. And ain't no fucking teacup. Don't go buy no sissy, prissy ass teacup. We need a whole coffee mug.
A shot glass.
No, a coffee mug.
Nah, bro.
Regular 8 ounces.
Bro. Don't make us put a straw in that thing.
Oh.
Don't make us put a straw in that thing, all right? We at least allowing you to drink it out of the cup. You going to savor that thing when we put a straw in it now. You did this to yourself.
Oh my god. Dude.
Okay.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you. I don't want to say anything else because I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah. Y'all make sure y'all tune in to KTSC Ave. Make sure you follow Eric on Twitter and join his spaces where he talks about it the Falcons and shit with the masses, and the masses tune in to Spaces. Tune into that. Follow him on Twitter and the rest of his social media platforms. We appreciate you coming in and blessing us with your greatness. Oh, Sensei ESPN.
Appreciate the invite. Don't call me that, please. I'm just a guy, man. I'm just a dude right there. That's it. I ain't nobody special.
On that note, we out. See y'all after the draft.